Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paper Cranes and I like to do music and mental health content. So if that's something that you're into, please subscribe. That would be amazing. If you hear running around during this video, just know that my cats are at their peak frisky time. So that is why you might hear some things in the background, but you can just ignore that. That's fine, all good. Yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about COVID and how it affects everyone's mental health. And I'm just gonna like keep it chill because that's my vibe and there's nothing wrong with that. And yes. Before I start, I just want to mention trigger warning because I might talk about self-harm, I might talk about suicide, I might talk about things that aren't good for your brain. So if that is you and you are watching this video, maybe just click off this video because we don't want any of that, okay? We don't want any bad stuff, okay? But if you do choose to stay, I have warned you, okay? I've warned you. Anyway, and all this information will be linked below, so if you want to check out any of these things that I'm talking about, go into the description box. Thank you. Okay, so there are two different types of topics that we can talk about with COVID and mental health. Number one is getting mental health issues after having COVID. So after having the virus, people are developing mental health issues. I will not be focusing on this topic because that is not my area of expertise. I'm not a doctor, obviously, and I don't know about medicine, but I'm going to be talking about the other type of COVID and mental health, which is mental health issues that arise from being in lockdown and the pandemic and all that sort of stuff. So all the things that cause us to have problems. So yes, let's get into it. So I mainly want to focus on lockdown because I feel like lockdown is the main cause of everyone's mental health issues. For those of you who don't know, I am from Australia, Victoria. So the worst place in the world to be in terms of lockdown because our government is not being very nice to us. So yeah, we are definitely feeling the effects of lockdown. It keeps being extended, it keeps being pushed back. We were meant to be out and about roaming and it's already been pushed back like 2 or 3 months and it just keeps pushing back and we're like, when will this end? And we're relying on 80% of the population needs to be vaccinated and all this sort of stuff. So like, it's like, when will it end? And obviously this causes a lot of issues for everyone in their day-to-day life. And I'm gonna go through those issues right now with you. So have a seat, grab a drink, get some food. Okay, number one, I feel like this is a big one. Not being able to work. No longer having something to do, okay? A lot of people have had to stop their full-time jobs and they're now at home and they're like, well, what do I do with my time? And a lot of their time is leading to not so good things. So being in a bad mental health space, feeling hopeless and all that sort of stuff. It just spirals on and on and on and on. Also at the end of this video, on the end of this section, I'll move on to a section where we talk about how to cope with this stuff because you got this, okay? You got this. There are only so many Netflix shows that you can watch, so people are feeling so bored and helpless and hopeless in their house, not knowing what to do, feeling like a waste of space because you're just here, you're just sitting here like, what am I doing with my life, you know? It's a big shock to the system when people realize, oh my god, like all I do is work. The fear of the unknown, yeah, not knowing what's going to happen next. We get all this anxiety, and anxiety is a response to a potential threat. So we start to train our brains that there's a potential threat, and which is lockdown. Sometimes our mind tricks us into thinking that something's a threat even though it's not. So like, for example, if someone has social anxiety, your brain tells yourself that if you go into that group of people, it's a threat. Something bad's gonna happen. So if you avoid that, that'll be good. That's a very basic description of anxiety, but you get the point. Yeah, we're at home as well. Feelings of hopelessness is a big one. Funny, the word hopelessness is also like another definition for depression. Feeling hopeless, feeling like you're not gonna get anywhere. If you get help, nothing's gonna happen. Like hopelessness. That's another word for depression, basically. Lockdown is also causing a lot of loneliness. A lot of loneliness leads to mental health issues, feeling lonely, feeling like no one wants to hang out with you, missing that social connection. Speaking of social connection, that moves on to my next point. Teenagers crave social connection. This is the time in their life where they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing, you know? And they're missing out because they're forced to stay inside, and they're missing out on vital life lessons and things to, you know, make them grow into an adult. And it's going to be prolonged for a lot of teenagers, and they might not be technically an adult until they've gone through these experiences. A lot of people are going to be lacking these skills in life, these social skills and interactions, especially young kids as well. So young children, they crave social interaction as well. They learn a lot of their social skills when they're young kids, so they're being held back from those experiences. So that's another side effect of lockdown, which also can lead to mental health issues such as social anxiety, because they don't know how to socialize. So it's like this whole thing. Speaking of young children, families with young children are really struggling because these young children don't get to go to school anymore, so they're missing out on schooling. Obviously they're doing homeschooling and everything is over Zoom, but they don't get to do any hands-on things that like they would be doing at school. Parents might not have access to things like art smocks and paint and all this sort of stuff. These are skills that kids are lacking, and it's all thanks to lockdown. Everyone is going through the same experience when they're in lockdown, so everyone feels like their problem isn't important enough to seek help because everyone is going through this. Some people feel like they don't deserve help because their problem isn't severe enough compared to Joe Blow down the road, you know? But on the other hand, a lot of people are seeking mental health services. You can only imagine how many people aren't saying anything because they've never experienced mental health issues before, because they've never been in lockdown before, and these issues have never arisen before. So a lot of people don't know how to seek help, and a lot of people are just stuck and feel like, I don't know, they're just going through a rough patch and they don't need to get help. But the fact is, you probably do. Never feel like your problem isn't important enough to seek help. So if you're feeling anxious or nervous or depressed about any type of situation, that means that you should seek help or talk to someone, whether it be family or friends or a professional. Link below. If you need things, I've linked some services below. I've got some figures from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. 4.4 million people received mental health related prescriptions in 2019 to 2020. 4.4 million! I think that's in all of Australia. And we only have like 26 million people in Australia, so that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. National suicide and self-harm monitoring systems show more people are using crisis lines like Lifeline and other mental health services since the crisis began, while there has also been an increase in ambulance attendances for suicidal thoughts and self-harm in both New South Wales and Victoria. I'm sure if it's happening in these two states in this country, it's most likely happening all around the world. This graph shows the adults reporting symptoms of anxiety or depression in 2019 versus 2021. As you can see, in 2019 there was 11% reporting these feelings. In 2021 there is 41% reporting these feelings. So obviously mental health is a big concern these days. Another statistic that I found was over 40% of Americans said that they have developed mental health issues as a consequence of the pandemic. That's not even the people that already have mental health issues. These are people that never had anything wrong with them and they've developed these issues. So you'd imagine the percentage of Americans with mental health issues is quite high now. Another way lockdown has impacted our mental health is the vaccine. Okay, now everyone has different opinions about this. I just wanted to share this. It doesn't matter whether I'm vaccinated or not. I just wanted to share this information. There are people out there who want to get the vaccine and there are people out there that don't. Okay, the government in Australia, Victoria, are trying to make it mandatory that we get a vaccination. So basically, we no longer have control over our own bodies. We basically have to get the vaccination or we're no longer able to work. We have to get it. No jab, no job. That's the phrase that they're coming out with. So if we don't have a vaccination, we don't have a job. If we don't have a job, we can't support ourselves. And they're also making it, if you don't have a job and you don't have the jab, you also don't get like welfare benefits from the government. You don't get any money from the government if you don't have the jab. Obviously the government's pushing it a lot and making it very hard for those of us who don't want the vaccination. But obviously for those of us who do have the vaccination, we're fine. You know, we can do whatever we want after the 8th of November, I think it is. Again, regardless of whether I had the vaccination or not, I just think it's a bit crazy how they're not giving us a choice on what we want to do with our bodies or what we want to inject into our bodies or anything like that. So it's obviously really hard for a lot of people because they're getting the vaccine out of fear of losing their job. They're not getting the vaccine because they want to be protected against COVID. That doesn't sit right with me. I'm like, excuse me. So obviously that's causing a lot of anxiety because there are a mass number of people that the media don't show, obviously, because it would hurt the idea of getting the vaccine, that don't want the vaccine. So obviously these people are struggling, I would say, a little bit more than people who are vaccinated because they're quite literally going to lose their job and they're quite literally probably not going to be able to get another job, and it can ultimately lead to homelessness and it can ultimately lead to suicide. And we have seen a mass number of people commit suicide because their life is going down the drain, basically. Crazy stuff, yeah, crazy stuff. Alright, so now that I've covered as much as I can about how lockdown is affecting our mental health, I'm going to go through some of the things that you can do to improve your mental health or reduce the symptoms of mental health problems. 1. Training your brain to focus on the positives rather than the negatives. So associating positive things with lockdown rather than negative things. Focusing on the positives. All the time you get to spend with your pets, all the time you get to spend with your family, the free time you have now to do whatever you want. There's so many positive things that you could say about lockdown. Even though it's very hard, it's always good to focus on the positives, okay? Always be a glass half full person, not a glass half empty, okay? That's the way to live life. I'm a smart person, I know. I'm very smart. Number 2, understand your feelings. If you're feeling upset, you can literally just type into Google, why am I feeling upset? And a number of websites are going to come up to try and help you. So if you're feeling depressed or something like that, and you want to research what depression is and how it arises, sometimes that helps people knowing what is happening to them and what is going through their brain chemically. It helps them process things. So researching how you're feeling can help on the road to recovery. 3, find something you enjoy. Find something you enjoy. Stop saying that you can't, you know, because you can. I know you can. Stop saying you can't because I know you can. A lot of people base their life around work and have never had time to find something they enjoy because all they do is work and come home. Take this opportunity to find something that you enjoy and something that you love and something that you're passionate about. This is obviously something I'm passionate about that I've recently found again and I love it. It's good. 4, keep busy. Okay, find a hobby, create a routine, get up, get dressed, have breakfast, go for a walk, eat something, have a shower, do some study, like, I don't know, create some sort of routine that helps you get out of this bad mental health space. 5, learn something new, like a language or an instrument. It's a great idea. I would highly recommend learning an instrument because music is amazing. Oh my god, music is so good. Music can just do so much for your mind. Like, it helps you sleep better, it helps you concentrate, it helps you feel motivated. Even if you don't learn an instrument, just listen to music. Like, honestly, find new genres of music that you really enjoy and makes you feel things, okay? I put a link below by a Very Well Mind, and they have all these points of what music can do for you. So if you want to look into that, I would definitely suggest it. Number 6, get in shape, eat well, work out, go outside, walk your dog, you know? Stop putting on COVID weight. Take off the COVID weight. I mean, if that's something you want to do, or if you want to put on weight, like get out of shape if that's really what you want to do, you know? 7, go on Zoom, like chat to your friends, do video calls, call someone, text someone, stay in social contact with whoever you hold dear in your life, because it's very important to have social contact. If you don't have social contact, it's going to lead to loneliness and isolation, which leads to depression, which can ultimately lead to suicide, okay? And we don't want that, okay? We don't want that. So reach out. Talk to your friends, tell them how life is, tell them how it's going, and they'll tell you how it's going, and you realize you're not alone, okay? Talk to your friends, do it. This won't last forever, okay, because people just won't tolerate it. People just will not tolerate being in lockdown, and a lot of people are already going outside and doing what they want. Everyone's just sick of it. Everyone is sick of it, and a lot of people are just not tolerating it. People are having people over even though it's against the law at the moment. So just know that lockdown will not last forever. I'm pretty hopeful that it's soon that we're allowed to go outside. Obviously it'll be hard for unvaccinated people, but hopefully the government will just copy New South Wales. So last but not least, if you're feeling stressed, depressed or anxious, reach out to someone. Go seek professional help. Go talk to your family and friends. I can't stress it enough, because there is nothing too small that you can't talk to someone about, okay? Don't ever think that your problems aren't important, because they definitely are. I have a range of links below that you can go check out to get help, because it'll be a good idea for your brain, for your mind. Yeah, so that concludes my video for today. I know, okay? I know that was a lot of information, but it had to be said. Oh my god. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, because I have more content coming soon, okay? If you have any questions about anything that I discuss in this video, please comment down below, and I will either answer with a comment or a video. You know, if you want me to make a video about any of these mental health topics that I talked about, anxiety, depression, anything like that, I will make a video about it. So, you know, get typing, okay? Get typing. Do it. I dare you. Do it. So, I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. I hope you're all smiling until your cheeks hurt, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!